Getting ready. It's going to be a good show today. Maybe it'll be a fast show also. I know I've said that before, but I mean it today. Hey, I'm Mitch Goldberg. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a new edition. It's Be the Boss of Your Money. You come here, I go to you, right? This is your show, your post-market show to help you take control of your money. That's why we call it Be the Boss of Your Money. Hey, check out these social media icons here. Go ahead, connect with me on your preferred social media. Today we're talking about the market. Is the market already past Omicron? Is that it? Are we done? Thanksgiving was November 25th. The following day, the 26th of November, the Dow dived over 900 points. And we've been having these aftershocks ever since. The Fed, Biden's Build Back Better program, and out of nowhere, Omicron. What's going on? Could the market have already moved past all the bad news? That's what we're going to find out. So let's roll the intro and get set for a good show. Here we go. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Mitch Goldberg. If you're just joining us now, we are just getting started. So the story of the day, or the subject of the day, is this: did the stock market move on from Omicron? Short answer, yes. Long answer, yes. But there are conditions. There's still going to be volatility. It's just moved on for now. You know, today was more like, to me, today was like a relief rally. You know, was it, the question is it a healing rally? I don't think anything is healed. There was a lot of damage done to investor psyche. Something like half of all stocks are down over 20%. There are an awful lot of popular, well-known stocks that have been absolutely obliterated. It just happens to be that the top stocks, the biggest companies that are in the S&P 500, which is the index that we all follow, that small group is held up. But but so many other stocks have just gotten smashed. It was very easy to have a bad year in individual stocks. It was very easy to have a good year if you're just investing in the S&P 500 index. So kudos to you. And I know a lot of people say, oh, that validates everything. It validates everything I've ever thought, breathed, lived, whatever. S&P 500, that's it. Nothing else. I don't think that's the best way to go for everybody. And just to be clear, an index, it's something you cannot invest directly into, but you could invest in a security or some kind, in a security that tracks or mimics an index, just to be clear. So we have to talk about this because we're not out of the woods with Omicron. Cases are surging. And what I said yesterday is it's not a matter of, I know, who am I to say, but everything I've looked at says it's not a matter of whether or not you get Omicron. It's a matter of when. It's just how long could you delay it? Maybe you could delay it long enough for it to finally peter out and go away. But it is so contagious. I don't know what the deal is. Like, if you just have to inhale a molecule of the virus and you're done. Doctors in South Africa say that it's not really going after the the lungs like previous COVID Delta variants have, previous COVID coronavirus variants have. So we don't really know, but And then a lot of people say, "Who cares? It's like getting the common cold." Yeah, if you're vaxxed and boosted, it's like getting a common cold, and you've got to, and you're relatively young. What's young? I'll say like under 50. I think over 50 is where some people's immune systems start to uh, deteriorate a little bit. Not everybody. It's a gradual process between the ages of 50 and 70, and it's not the same for everybody. But by the time people are 70, this has nothing to do with mental acuity. This has to do with immune systems of people over 70 just not as strong. So the idea with the masking again and uh, the vaccinations, it's really about preventing the surge in the hospitals. A mask cannot 100% protect you from getting sick, but we don't want people we don't want people flooding the hospital system at once, because it's very hard to effectively treat people when the healthcare system is stressed, when there's a shortage of resources, of beds, of ventilators, and mostly of personnel. A ventilator doesn't get tired. That's why we use machines. All right. But people who manage them and manage the medications and put IVs in and all that, they do get tired. They get stressed. They get sick. They break down. They're emotional. They see a lot of bad things happen overwhelmingly with unvaccinated people, the non-believers. I saw on LinkedIn, I didn't really think this was appropriate for LinkedIn. Someone posted video of a bunch of senior citizen men frolicking in the woods. Clearly has nothing to do with COVID, probably an old video clip from a movie or something. And people went off on how, it's just all about controlling you and keeping the virus going so that the drug companies could make all the money. And it's controlling you, which incidentally, in the Build Back Better plan, there was a provision in it to let Medicare and Medicaid actually negotiate with pharmaceutical companies for better pricing on drugs. How's that for a novel idea? As the biggest buyer of drugs in this country, Medicare, but they're not allowed to negotiate with drug companies for better pricing. An insurance company can, but not Medicare. I mean, have you ever heard of something so stupid? So people who say that, the politics of trying to, control people and pump up the drug companies. No, you're really not right about that. You're just believing every conspiracy theory thrown your way. Oh, the Omicron is real, and it's, if you don't want to protect yourself, that's fine. If you think you'll get through it, you want to take the chance. This is a hard one. I have friends who are not vaccinated, and I will never do anything to hurt these friendships because I love my friends. I just show people love and compassion, and I send them chicken soup if they do get sick. What else can you do? But I have to protect myself and my loved ones the best that I can. So that's why I'm vaxxed. I'm boosted. I hope you are too. If you're not, you already had COVID. That's supposed to be a big help too. And I hear what you're saying. Well, just let everybody get COVID, and this will have a natural immunity. Because an awful lot of people can't take it. And it's not just old people. It's people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. It's kids. And it's a really miserable way to get immunity by catching COVID. It's a lot easier to get immunity and a lot more comfortable to just get a jab, 2 jabs, or 3 jabs in this case. It's a lot easier to do it that way. And generally speaking, that keeps people out of the hospital by many, many multiples. So there you go. But has the market moved past it? Okay, by the way, Michael is out there. Michael, you beat me to the punch. Michael says, I think that the Pfizer pill announcement today could very well be the beginning of the end. I'm gonna put that up on the screen in a little bit. News of the Pfizer pill came out like 2 or 3 months ago, and the market took off on it. with the premise that said, for the unvaccinated, this is a cure. This is great. It's like, Tamiflu when you get the flu, right? It's huge because now you don't have to get the jab. You don't have to worry, you don't want to get vaxxed. You could take this drug. Although I don't know why you would take this drug if you were afraid of the jabs. This is fairly new stuff with this pill. It's a new combination. Part of it is there's like three parts to this regimen, and part of it is an old protease inhibitor that's used to fight HIV. And then there's two new parts, but it's new. It's fairly new, brand new. So if you're afraid of the jab because if you're afraid of the vaccine because it's so new, wouldn't it make sense that you'd be afraid of this medication also? Or maybe people are just afraid of needles and they don't want to admit that they're afraid to get a shot. There are people who are, definitely afraid of getting a needle. I don't know. Maybe people don't want to be told to get the jab, so they're like, "I'm not getting it. I don't have to." No one's telling you have to. Well, yes, I know it depends what job you have and what are you a healthcare worker, that sort of thing. What if you were just told that you're not allowed to get the jab? You are not allowed to have it. We're not giving it to you. And people would say, "Oh, the government's trying to kill us." Then would you want the jab? I mean, is it just a matter of being obstinate for the sake of being obstinate? Oh, wow, I'm going off here. I'm so off the rails right now. But this drug could be a game changer. Now, there are some people say, if I catch COVID, I'll let it go. I'll be all right. And you're probably right. Like 99% of you will be fine. I mean, some of you could really feel like crap for a couple of days. Some of you might get scared and say, you know what? I'm scared. I want to go to the hospital. Or some of you might be too sick to even say that, but you get over it. It's really tough to say. So, it's a shame it's so politicized. And I am not in favor of like forcing people to take a medication, but I am in favor of bombarding people with education. Of all the people in this country who refuse to become vaccinated, many of you must know somebody who died from COVID or was seriously ill from it and could have died from it. And if that's not enough to scare you into taking it, probably nothing will. And that's why it's so good that we have the Pfizer drug, because for those who are willing to take it, if you take the medication from Pfizer within 5 days of symptoms or within a day or two of being diagnosed, you just take it as quickly as you find out, then this will help you. It's like 89% effective in keeping you out of the hospital, which is really good. Okay. The problem is you can't even get tested now. You can get tested, but the lines to get tested are so long. There's no, try calling around to get tested. It's not just, where I live on Long Island. It's all over the country. It's in Atlanta. It's everywhere. I have friends and clients all over the country. Like, if you're sick and you have a fever, you're not going to be able to stand outside in line or sit in your car for 2 or 3 hours, maybe through a drive-through center to get tested. You're just going to have to treat yourself like you have it, but you're not going to. But if you can't get tested and you can't see a doctor, then how are you going to get a prescription for this? The problem is so many people get hit at once that the healthcare system can't get to you fast enough to write you a prescription for this new Pfizer drug. Plus, it hasn't been manufactured in enough quantity to be given to everybody, and it could take a month or so for it to ramp up. In any event, the good news is that some scientists say, I don't know if you call this good news or the good potential, is that as fast as Omicron, as fast as it comes in, it could go and just burn itself out, which would be great. And then we could move on. I was just starting to go out to networking events and In my world, my networking friends, in many cases, are my best friends, my closest friends, and I miss them. I really would like to go. I did go to a couple of events before stuff started to get bad again with Omicron, but I'd like to go to more. I'm the type I usually go to, like, I would say 2 to 3 evening events a month. That's a lot, about 30 a year. That's a lot of times. So I know there are people who are like out every night at a networking event, but these are people who don't have a family yet. Once you have children, and you're taking your kids to baseball games, which you're going to want to do, or you're taking them to gymnastics, whatever, that will become your priority, not the networking events. But my kids are now older, and I could go to more things. Okay, so we digress. So did the market get over Omicron? Did something change? Did we get all the sellers out of the way? And is it time to be a buyer? Like I've been saying all along in my social media, in my live stream, in my videos, in my conversations, one-on-ones, don't make changes based on all this stuff. We had that down day on November 26th, the Friday after Thanksgiving, 905-point down day in the Dow. And we've had a bunch of up 500 points, down 500 points, all these days of volatility. And for what? The major averages are still very close to their highs. People are just, they're flinging stocks all over the place like it's a video game. Most people are just spinning their wheels, better off just being a long-term investor and not getting involved with this stuff. This too shall pass. And then you have have what? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. So the point is, don't react to this stuff. Oh, I was going to say it's a Santa rally. So people are now counting on a Santa rally. Well, we have the Santa rally. We usually have like a 2% rally or so, but between through the last 5 days of the year and the first 2 trading days of the new year. Last 5 trading days, first 2 trading days, we usually get a rally. Yeah, 80, almost 8, like 78% of the time. Who cares? That I have yet to meet a millionaire who made money just trading the Santa rally. But I've met so many millionaires who became millionaires by just being long-term investors, committing to investing in their retirement plan every other week or every month. And it's really quite simple. And then they get a rally like the one we've had for the last year and a half. And all of that time and effort investing becomes well worth it, because all of a sudden people who have $500,000, maybe now they have $700,000, $800,000. And when you make 10 or 15% on your account, you're making $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 or more in a year in terms of growth. And that really is serious compounding. But they wouldn't have gotten there if they didn't invest their first dollar into some kind of investing strategy that was consistent, simple, understandable, workable, easy to stick with, and repeatable. It has to start somewhere, and then you keep doing it. And you become more patient as time goes on. Is there really more to it than that? I mean, we make things complicated by constantly talking about what's the market going to do next year. I mean, we've talked about this on the show. All these investment strategists. There are investment strategists who are saying the stock market could rally in 2022, next year. There are strategists who are saying the stock market could go down next year. And there are strategists, I'm talking like the big investment people, there are some who are saying the market could be flat next year. Gee, that is so not helpful. But no one could really tell you what it's going to do, and it shouldn't matter. If the market goes down and you've got a long time till you need your money, good for you. The down market's your friend. And if you need your money in the near term, okay, whatever. You've already taken your money out of the market that you're going to need for the near term. Who dare calls me during my live stream? That's okay. I usually put my phones on privacy. I've been in and out of the office so much in the last couple of weeks. It's just been crazy. In fact, I said yesterday I wasn't even going to do a show today. Like, I was like, nah, I have to skip it. I'm going to be out tomorrow, and I thought I was going to be out at this time and not be able to do the show. But I'm like a nut with the show. It's like my 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 friends, my clients, my family. Everyone knows 4:30. Mitch is doing his live stream, and someone recently called me Mister 4:30, which it was a nice compliment. That some people notice. Let's take a look at the market. The Dow is up 261 points after being up over 500 points yesterday. Nasdaq was up over 1%, up 180 points. S&P was up 47 points, up over 1%. Oil, which is we call an economically sensitive asset, was up again. It was up yesterday. The 10-year yield, though, went down. That still kind of bothers me, but what makes me feel good, the VIX down 2.38 points, down under 20. We're in rally mode. How many times have you heard me say the VIX, okay, under 20, we're in rally mode. The VIX measures what professional investors are willing to pay to hedge their portfolios when they're scared. And when they're really scared, they pay more money to hedge their portfolios. The VIX goes up. After that Thanksgiving rout, when the post Thanksgiving rout, when the Dow went down 900, the VIX went from like 18 or 16 or so. It went to 38. It had the biggest, fastest, highest magnitude of a jump in that short of time, in that amount of time, than ever before. But it's back to under 20. Things have all of a sudden calmed down, and I just feel like we're coasting. I wouldn't be surprised if we do just coast along for the rest of the year. It's been a month of these crazy gyrations. Some stocks have gotten crushed. Some have held up. And I just want to say the Russell 2000 was up 0.86%. The Russell 2000, that's the small cap benchmark. Okay, it was 2458. It's 2221. This is where so many strategists are saying, place your bets on small cap. And I agree with this. I've been talking about this. Place your bets on the small cap sector because that's trading at valuations of multi-year lows. We'll see. Let's take a look at crypto. Let me pop myself up in the screen here if I haven't already. Let's take a look at crypto. Bitcoin continues to move up little by little, almost back up to 50,000. I say this about the stock market. I'll say this about crypto. I don't like to see these big 4, 5, 6% moves because what happens is they just get repealed, and it's just volatility for the sake of volatility. That turns people off. It frightens people. Gets people to want to leave. The Doge is at 18 cents, up a penny, so it's up a whopping almost 4%. Okay. Now, a 1% move, 2% move in a crypto it's normal. That's like it's typical. 1 or 2% move for the Dow, the S&P, the Nasdaq I'm not saying it's uncommon. I'm not saying it's rare. It happens a lot, but it's a lot less common than what the moves are in crypto. Okay. So it's always say, I don't sit here and stare at the major averages all day long. They do what they do. I'm more concerned with individual stocks. I'm more concerned, really, though, with clients having as much knowledge as possible as they want, okay, so that they don't make sudden moves based on the portfolio. I posted something a while ago when the Dow was down 700 points. I think it was like this summer. It was like the biggest down day up to that point of the year. And I wrote, things I do when the Dow is up or down 700 points, things I do differently. And one side said nothing, a sign that said nothing. And then the other side said nothing. I don't change my stripes day to day to suit the market. Okay. I'm me, you're you, and I'm here to manage for you based on your risk tolerance, your time horizon, and your financial goals. And I know it sounds cheesy and you've heard it a million times, but it's true. And everyone says, oh, I'm fine on my own. I'm cool. But when the stuff hits the fan, we get emotional, we get scared, we want to do something, that fight or flight instinct kicks in, and all of a sudden you're doing things that you thought you would never do before, and you're pissed off about it when you look back. I'm here to help you fight that. That's my main job as a financial advisor, to help prevent you from acting on your worst impulses while you watch paint dry for the next 30 years. Okay? That's my job description. Sounds I bet you've never heard it like that before, but that is my job description. Okay. So let's go on and talk about the Pfizer drug that Michael Holtman told us about. By the way, if you don't know Michael Holtman, I'll put him on the screen one more time. Check him out. He is in the title insurance business, but he's the only one I've ever seen who creates content about title insurance and educates people on title insurance, what's going on in the residential and commercial real estate world. And he's not just giving you a bunch of statistics. He's telling you, like he's talking to a friend, in layman's terms, what is going on with real estate, title insurance, and so much more. I think I should get like an affiliate code to sell title insurance for Michael Altman. What do you think, Michael, if you're still out there? All right. So let's just take a look at the big headline of the day. FDA authorizes Pfizer's COVID treatment pill, the first oral antiviral drug cleared during the pandemic. Now, this sent the rally up a lot like 2 or 3 months ago. This was a big deal. We knew this was coming out. It was just a matter of, well, when does the FDA give the approval? We got the approval today. It is a big help to know that if you do get sick, we have a medication that works. Because before this, if you got sick, there was nothing you could take. What do you do? Take Advil, Tylenol, drink fluids. If you go to the hospital, they'll give you some fluids, and that stuff. The antibodies, from Regeneron, the Regeneron product, it doesn't even work anymore. It's like it's obsolete. It doesn't work on Omicron. So that's the stuff that President Trump took when he had COVID. He was given like this cocktail of medications, of therapeutics. Those don't work anymore. So who cares, right? They don't work. But we have a pill that works. So this is really a big deal. And it's a game changer. And it could change the course of the virus. Maybe we could ship these pills out all over the world. The thing is, you have to take these like certain times of day for a certain amount of days in a certain combination. It's not like a one pill wonder or a daily pill. There is a regimen to it. Hopefully people would be able to stick to it, and hopefully people won't do like part of the regimen or half the regimen, feel better, and then stop. And then the virus comes back even worse. And then the virus learns how to evade this regimen. And then we've got a bigger problem. And then we need a whole new drug. Finish your medications. Okay. So that's the big news. Pfizer was off a little bit. There's Meg Terrell from CNBC, who's an outstanding reporter. And I'm done for the day. So we'll see what happens. I am so grateful that you chose to spend some of your time with me. If you think of any questions that you wanted to ask me post-show, just hit me up in the comments. I will definitely see those, and I look forward to answering those questions. Words of encouragement, words of wisdom are always appreciated. I want to thank Natalie for doing such an incredible job on editing all of my videos and the outtakes and highlights that I do. And again, if you connect with me on Instagram, if you connect with me on LinkedIn, YouTube, what have you, for Facebook, Twitter, it's all there. And I would love to connect with you in other places as well. Have a great day, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you.